Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel and welcome to this video. Today we will be painting a painting with a meaningful note, and I will be using this Clairefontaine watercolor paper. It is 300 GSM or 140 pounds, also called press. I will be using white nights today, it's just for a change. And also for the colors I will be using this yellow ochre, also some burnt umber, indanthrene blue, and some violet. For the brushes, I will be using these I will be using 3 of them. I won't be using the second one from the left, MarenaART brush, but one from the Lebenzon, Raphael number 4, and also dainayw number 8. I will list all the brushes and all the materials I will be using in the description box. Also, I'm just gluing a tape on sides of my paper because I do want to have those sides stay white. I don't want any paint over there, especially because on the right side I will be writing a note. And first I am pre-wetting the rest of the paper, and I'm using this larger flat brush. Actually, for pre-wetting you can use just basically any brush you like. And mixing in some burnt umber, yellow ochre, and also just a tiny bit of the violet, and splattering onto my paper. I'm trying to keep everything I paint on the right side, leaving the left side white. I left this to dry completely, and now with this spray bottle I will just spray it slightly. I don't want this time my entire paper to be wet. I just want some parts of it to be wet because I do want my edges to be in some parts sharp and also in some parts a little bit loose and soft, bleeding. So I just sprayed with the spray bottle with the clean water. Using first a light wash, I do want my first layer, I guess flowers, to be lighter. So I am using a lighter washes of color, and the blue is actually indanthrene blue. Also with this Lebenzon brush, I'm just going over the edges and feathering it out, just creating a little spikes on these flowers. A stem, and I'm not going all the way down to the edge of my paper with the stem. Same thing for the second one, adding a light brown wash on top, adding a little bit of the indanthrene blue, feathering out the edges. And that's basically everything. I will also be adding a little bit of the salt on all of them. I do want a salt effect. And if you're not sure how the salt works, I do have a video when I'm going a little bit more into depth about the salt, so I will link it right now. And also you can find the link in the description box. Same thing for the last one, again using quite light washes for this layer. Some salt. I left it to dry completely. It has to dry naturally, not this time we can't really use a hair dryer because salt wouldn't work, so just make sure you leave your paper to dry naturally. And now that it's dry, I'm gonna do the same thing, paint my flowers same way as I did for the previous layer, but this time I did not use water. I did not spray water because I do want my edges to be sharp, and I don't want any bleeds in this layer. And also my flowers are going to be a little bit darker. I'm going to use a little bit more saturated paint for these flowers, but again adding a light wash of brown on top, adding a little bit more of the indanthrene blue, then feathering out with this brush, adding a little bit more of the paint, and then salt. I'm gonna paint all of these florals same way in this layer. Second one, same thing. A bit of the salt, and I left this to dry slightly, and while it's still wet but slightly drier, I'm just adding a bit more of the paint Also making the stems darker, I'm using burnt umber and indanthrene blue, mix of those two colors to create this darker blue color, grayish color, splattering some little bit of the burnt umber, and on top mix of burnt umber and indanthrene blue. Again, you can see I'm keeping most of my splatters. I'm trying to keep my painting on the right side. Also, I decided to add a bottom. I don't know really why I did that, but I thought it would look nice. And also, while this is still drying, adding a little bit more of this darkest mix of blue and burnt umber. I left it to dry completely, and now that it's dry, I'm just gonna add a little bit more of those darker spikes, again using mix of burnt umber and indanthrene blue. Also a couple of last splatters, and with that we'll be finishing off the painting part. So I will remove my tapes on the right and also on the left side and write in the note. So first I'm just air writing to see the position of my words, and now where I know where I want to position everything, where I want to start, I'm just writing in the text. So guys, with that we'll be finishing off this painting, and I hope you enjoyed it and liked it. It's a nice idea. You can use it also for cards, or just to make a full finished painting without the note, or you can just do the same thing as I did, write a note, frame it, and put it somewhere on your wall to remind you every day that, I guess, being happy really is your choice. So thank you so much for joining me today. If you did like this video, please hit the like button, share it, and comment. If you haven't still, please do subscribe to my channel. I have lots and lots and lots of tutorials there, so I'm sure you will find something for yourself. And if you want a more real-time, in-depth tutorial, I also do have a Patreon page where you can find longer real-time videos, and also I'm sure you will find something for yourself there. Again, thank you so much for joining me today, for maybe painting with me, and I do hope I will see you next time. Bye!